On the two, so when you're coming in the instance that you guys are coming in for a seed round, we've talked extensively about how traditionally there's been just a lack of early stage capital in oil and gas. How early do you guys come in, and what's the criteria for?
Yeah, because Imran said that you're typically looking for a company that has a couple of clients. Are you looking at anything that's pre-revenue, or it has to be something so no, you've got a couple of clients and you've proven the product?
I think if you look at, I don't think this is a black and white rule.
Okay.
As a general, if I was to describe our fairway, if I was to use a golfing analogy, I would say it would be a company or a group of entrepreneurs that have revenue, have a few customers, and have a minimum viable product. And now, would we not invest in a pre-revenue company? I think there has to be a compelling case for us. For us to do that. But I would say a fairway.
There's different variables for every situation, right? Well, this podcast is timely because I actually had a call with a founder this morning, and he's got a physical downhole technology and artificial lift. And he called me at 9 this morning. He's like, man, I've listened to Cottonwood Ventures and some of the other podcasts. He's like, but it always seems that the primary focus is on software. He's like, there's not a lot of information out there for physical products. And he's talking to me because he's like, he's got some angel investors already in the company, but he's looking to do a Series A, and he's talking to me about valuation. He's like, do you know of any comps? How do you triangulate a valuation on a product like this? Because all I can find in the energy space right now are software companies. And I was like, I think CSL actually invests in hardware companies, and they're coming on the podcast, so it's timely. I'm gonna ask them some questions. So
send it our way.
Yeah.
One
I knew that was coming through. You make an introduction.
Collin, absolutely make it. And I'll give an example. We've looked at two ESP companies in the last 6 months, focused on a technology called permanent magnet motors. And I don't know what technology this entrepreneur has. And those are different. I don't know how familiar you are with ESP technology, but the traditional ESP motor is an induction motor.
Okay.
Where you're basically putting power down the ESP and then using that. With a permanent magnet motor, essentially you make a more efficient motor, a shorter motor, but then there's complexity because permanent magnets are expensive. And
if you have anything expensive downhole, it's gonna break for sure. So
there's challenges there, but we're absolutely open to an introduction